genus Nostoc, species Functiforma. Is it right? So this is about the taxonomic position. What is the habitat of Nostoc? What is the habitat? Where Nostoc is grown very abundantly? Anybody? Nostoc. Okay, Nostoc mainly grown in a freshwater alga, even though the marine environment, some of the Nostoc species then able to grow on the terrestrial also. So alga is able to grow as a endophytic nature and symbiotic nature. The main uses of this Nostoc is able to conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen into soil. So that is the most important about Nostoc. Yesterday, along with this Nostoc, the cell structure and thallus and the reproduction, we are discussed about Nostoc. So today we are going to discuss about the second type study of our blue-green alga cyanobacteria, that is Anabaena. Okay. So Anabaena is our second type study in blue-green algae. In our blue-green algae, cyanophyceae or cyanobacteria consist three type studies. Number one, Nostoc. Number two, Anabaena. Number three, Oscillatoria. Last class we have already discussed about Nostoc. Today we are going to discuss about Anabaena. Okay, so this is about the taxonomic position of Anabaena or classification of Anabaena. So earlier these Anabaena is included in kingdom bacteria, but now we are studied about this Anabaena in the plant kingdom. In this plant kingdom, Thallophyceae, the Thallophyta. Okay, in this Thallophyta division, Cyanophyta, class Cyanophyceae, order Nostocales, family Nostocaceae, and genus Anabaena, species Azolle or Cycadacearum. So this is about the taxonomic position of Anabaena. Okay, Amma? Anabaena taxonomic position. Is it clear? Okay, I will write here. I will show. So here, so division, Cyanophyta, and class Cyanophyceae, order here Nostocales, family Nostocaceae, and genus Anabaena, species Azolle, Anabaena, Azolle, or Cycadacearum, Anabaena, Cycadacearum. Okay, this is about the taxonomic position of our Anabaena. Is it clear? Division Cyanophyta, class Cyanophyceae, order Nostocales, family Nostocaceae, genus Anabaena, species Azolle or Cycadacearum. So this is about the taxonomic position of Anabaena. Our type study today, that is Anabaena. Okay, next we will move for next slide, Amma. Okay, then what is Anabaena? Anabaena is a genus of filamentous cyanobacteria or blue-green alga. Is it clear? What is Anabaena? Anabaena is a genus of filamentous cyanobacteria or blue-green algae. This slide shows about the Anabaena. The upper image shows about the straight lines, shows about the filament or trichome of the Anabaena. Here, the below the image shows about the spiral or coiled nature of this Anabina thallus or Anabina filament or trichome. Is it clear? So in this image, what we observed, this filamentous is a uniseriate. Cells are arranged in a uniseriate manner in the filament. This filament is surrounded on the surface of this filament is a mucilaginous sheath. That's why this filament we can call as trichome. This trichome, the straight trichomes we are observed in this upper image. The lower image shows about the Anabina how coiled in nature. Okay, and here these thallus consist different cells in the vegetative cells of this trichome or filament. See here, this is an heterocyst space of the among the vegetative cells, and along with this, the large thick-walled cells are present among the uniseriate cells. The cell we can call as akinete. So akinete is also we can call as arthrospores or resting spores of the blue-green alga, member. Okay. See here. What is the occurrence of this Anabina? Where this Anabina is able to grow? What is the thallus? What is the structure of this Anabina? The occurrence of this Anabina is, it is a filamentous blue-green alga. No doubt at all. We know that. And they are both planktonic or make the coating on aquatic organism. Mainly these blue-green alga, along with this our type study, Anabina is also grown on the surface of the water body, or even the fresh water, or in the marine water, or in the stagnant water or foul water. On the surface of the water, this Anabina grows as a planktonic nature. So this plankton does not contain any motile forms or motile organs or motile parts of the cells or even the filament. This is not able to move, but they are moved through waves of the water on the surface of the water. And these Anabina, and even though some other blue-green alga is also used as a fodder or food for the aquatic animals or aquatic organisms. And few species are endophytic, and cavities between the leaves of water fern or aquatic fern, that is Azolla. So Azolla is a pteridophyta plant. It is grown on the surface of the freshwater environment. These Azolla fern leaves have a number of cavities inside the leaves, and these cavities with this filamentous structure. That's why this mechanism we can call it the symbiotic method for a living type, and also these cavities are helpful for the growing of this Anabina inside the leaves of this Azolla. And even though Azolla, along with this Azolla, the roots of the cycas, so cycas roots also is able to give the space for the growing of this Anabina. So that's why this Anabina is able to grow as an endophytic in nature in aquatic fern Azolla leaves, leaf cavities, along with this cycas coralloid roots. Cycas roots, the special type of roots that are anti-geotrophic nature. The roots are a finger-like structures. The roots we can call as a coralloid roots. The coralloid roots contain these Anabina filaments inside the special type of roots of the Cycadaceae members. Then, and also these blue-green alga of this Anabina is widely spreaded body in fresh water along with the salt water also, my dear friends. And it is also produce water blooms. So water blooms means on the surface of the water. On the surface of the water, the clump, the group of this Anabina, the group of this blue-green alga can able to produce a scum-like structure on the surface of the water body that we can call as blooms. Telugulo manjaralu antaru. These blooms is able to give a special type of the color of the water. The best example, are you heard about the Red Sea, my dear friends? Red Sea, Erra Samudram. So the Red Sea, why the Red Sea looks like red in color? Why? Because the thallus of the blue-green alga, the thallus of the red algae contain a special type of pigments, that is phycoerythrin or phycoerythrin means that is the phycobilins, special type of pigments present in red algae and blue-green algae. Yesterday class we have already discussed some of the pigments. Along with chlorophylls, the phycobilly proteins or phycobilly pigments are present in this both red algae and blue-green algae. So these phycobilins are classified into three, Number one, phycoerythrin, phycocyanin, allophycocyanin, So these are the allophycocyanin. These are the three types of the phycobilins pigments are present in this red algae and blue-green algae. So this phycoerythrin is the pigments in abundant in the thallus of this red algae and even the blue-green algae, some of the blue-green algae. So that's why these able to produce water blooms on the surface of the water. That's why the water of the ocean color looks like a red in color. So that's why the red color of the Red Sea is responsible for the organism of red alga, that is Trichodesmium erythraeum. Trichodesmium erythraeum is responsible for the red color of the Red Sea. Okay, erythraeum, Trichodesmium erythraeum is the living organism related to red algae. This is able to produce water blooms on the surface of the Red Sea. That's why the Red Sea looks like a red in color, just because of this pigment phycoerythrin is abundant on the thallus of this Trichodesmium erythraeum. Okay, so that's why the color of the Red Sea is red in color. So, and even though the organism of this blue-green alga or nostoc or anabina, even though consists of a special type of the cells between the vegetative cells or among the vegetative cells, that is achainids and even the heterocysts. Heterocysts and achainids also consist of the thallus of the anabina. Okay, so you observed this slide shows about how the azolla leaf. So this is the azolla leaf, my dear friends. So azolla leaf in between in anatomy of this anabina leaf cavity, we are observed this leaf cavity consists this cavity. Amma, is there any doubt? Is there any doubt? Anybody can ask me. Shall we continue? Shall I continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the cavities, number of cavities are present inside the leaf of the azolla, and this leaf cavity is able to give the space for the growing of this anabina thallus. This is the trichome. This is the trichome of anabina, or filament of the anabina is able to grow inside the cavity, and is also this leaf cavity is just because of the gas vacuoles. Why gas vacuoles are present in this cavity? The gas vacuoles are also present. Why this is gas vacuole, my dear friends? So this is gas vacuole. Why gas vacuole is present in the azolla leaf, even though blue-green alga? Just because of the main function of this gas vacuole is able to floating on the surface of the give the ability on the free floating on the surface of the water, environment. So the gas vacuole is able to preserve the gases and also give the free floating on the surface of the water. So this in leaf cavity consists number of air cells also present. Air cells, hair cells. Okay, so this is about anatomy of the azolla leaf. Anatomy of the azolla leaf. Next, we will move for next slide, Amma. So this is azolla plant. I will show another slide also. So you observe this slide is visible, Amma, all of you. Slide is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
You observed in stagnant water, pond water, even in the fresh water, you observe these type of structures. Can anybody in nearest water body, you are easily identified. These leaves are belongs to fern, aquatic fern, that is pteridophyta plant, that is azolla. So these are the group of azolla leaves, azolla plants, So these are all azolla. Very easily grow on the surface of the water of all aquatic ponds and stagnant water. Is it clear? So this is very important. Whenever we are using this azolla culture in our paddy field, so our paddy field need not to use any other inorganic manures or fertilizers, not urea or super phosphates, not give for externally. Why? Because this azolla is able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen by the presence of the internal cavity of the leaves, presence of the anabina. So anabina consists heterocyst, So I will show the heterocyst about those. This is about the anabina. Though anabina filament contain heterocyst. This heterocyst able to fix the atmospheric nitrogen, conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen into soil, or in heterocyst. The heterocyst contain polar nodules. So both polars contain two nodules. Both the nodules are present both sides of the poles, and it is also observed among the vegetative cells, very easily identified. Why? Anybody can tell how to identify whether it is a heterocyst cell or normal vegetative cell? How to identify? Anybody can tell, Amma. Anybody can tell. How to identify whether the cells of among the vegetative cells are the cells belongs to heterocyst or vegetative cells in the trichome of the anabina. Anybody can tell?
Heterocyst is a big size cell, then vegetative cells.
Amma, am I audible? Am I audible? So
Yes,
this
sir.
filament. So cells contain chlorophylls or other filaments. Heterocyst does not contain any chlorophylls or any pigments. So this is a colorless or yellowish color, green in color. So that's why heterocyst very easily identify with our naked eye, with microscope. Okay, that's why we are using microscope. This is not a macroscopic, this is a microscopic algae. So microscopic blue-green algae, we are observed under the microscope. In the microscope, we are observed the thallus. The thallus is a filamentous, unbranched filamentous. The unbranched filamentous, it is the cells in a uniseriate manner. And the cells are end to end, and among the vegetative cells, the colorless structure cells are observed. The colorless cells belongs to heterocyst, and even though the colored pigments are chlorophyll pigments contain the large thick-walled cells, we are observed. The large thick-walled cells we can call as akineids. Akineids also we can call as arthrospores or ring spores. Okay, and the anabina, sometimes there shows a colonies, and not only in straight line, even though they are in spiral in nature. Okay, there are maybe one or more present, and they are produced, or they looks like a colony on the surface of the water. So that's why water blooms are produced, and these modified into actinides and heterocysts. So movement have been reported by terminal trichome. So movement, actually blue-green algae does not contain any motile parts of the thallus. So the movement is absent actually, but all blue-green algae shows the gliding movements or looping movements. Okay, gliding movements or looping or slippery movements. So by the use of the terminal cells of the trichome, terminal cells of the trichome. So these cells are surrounded by mucilaginous sheaths. So these cells, all the cells are surrounded by upper around the mucilaginous sheath. So the cells of the blue-green algae are the cells of the Anabina contain the cells are belongs to prokaryotic cells, you know. So prokaryotic cell does not contain membranous cell organelles. Only ribosomes are present, gas vacuoles are present, and reserve food material, mainly Synophysian starch or Synophysis protein granules, along with oil droplets also present inside the cells. And my dear friends, the chromosome does not surrounded on this chromosome surrounded the definite nuclear membrane. So nuclear membrane is up. Is there any doubt? Any doubt, Amma? Am I clear? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So the chromosome does not surround by the membrane, that is nuclear membrane is absent. So that is a naked chromosome we are observed in the cytoplasm of the vegetative cell or cytoplasm of the all cells of the Anabina. And these mitochondrial Golgi apparatus like chloroplast and endoplasmic reticulum, cell organelles, you know. So the membranous cell organelles are absent in these cells. Why? Because this belongs to prokaryotic cells. So prokaryotic cells does not contain any membranous structures inside the cytoplasm. Only the thylakoids are present, and the nucleoid region chromosome is present. The very primitive cell organelles are ancient cell organelle, that is ribosomes are present inside the cytoplasm. The main function of the ribosomes are synthesis of the proteins. The protein factories are ribosomes. So cell membrane is present, the cell wall is present on the single cell, and the chromoplasm and centroplasm, where the cytoplasm protoplasm is divided into two parts. The chromoplasm, the surface of the central part, protoplasm, central part of the protoplasm we can call it as the centroplasm, and the remaining protoplasm part we can call as a chromoplasm. This chromoplasm contain the pigments of different type of the pigment, chlorophylls and other phycobilly proteins or phycobilly pigments are present in this chromoplasm. Okay. Then the chromoplasm, it contains flattened sacs, that is thylakoids, you know. So the thylakoids are present in the chromoplasm. So in which photosynthetic pigments are located on this thylakoid, my dear friends. So what are the photosynthetic pigments? Are you heard about any photosynthetic pigments in earlier class?
Chlorophyll A.
Only chlorophyll A present in this blue-green alga, my dear friends. Chlorophyll B, C, D does not contain. Only chlorophyll A is present. Along with this chlorophyll A, phycobilly proteins or phycobilins are present. So phycobilins are accessory pigments, you know. Carotenoids and phycobilins are accessory pigments which is helpful for the protecting from the external environment or high harmful radiation from the sun or solar radiation. So that's why these phycobilins and carotenoids are accessible pigments. Only chlorophyll A is useful for photosynthesis. Okay, is it clear? And here the small spherical granules rich in carbohydrates are distributed in the cytoplasm. These are the reserve food material. These we can call as synophysin starch. Then even though synophysin starch, the proteinaceous bodies also we can present consist in the cytoplasm. That is we can call as synophysis granules or synophysis protein granules. So synophysin starch also there, and synophysis protein granules also present in the chromoplasm. And the central body or centroplasm, it consists no definite nucleus is present, only nuclear structure is there. Nuclear structure means only nucleoid region is there, only the chromosome, so that is a circular DNA present, but definite membrane is absent in the nuclear region. The nuclear material is often dispersed in the form of network in the central body. Okay, so this is the circular DNA present on the centroplasm. And what about gas vacuoles, sir? Gas vacuoles. So these gas vacuoles also we can call as pseudo vacuoles. So actually vacuoles are present all the plant body. All plant cells contain vacuoles. So this is the primary characteristic features of the plant cell, my dear friends. What are the main differences between animal cell and plant cell? Anybody can tell? What are the main differences between animal cell and plant cell? What are the main differences?
And absence of
So
Plant chlorophyll.
plant cell and animal cell. So plant cell, animal cell, the first point is cell wall. Okay, so cell wall is present in plant cell, but cell wall is absent in animal cell. The plastids are present. Plastids are present in plant cell, whereas absent in animal cell. And vacuole. So vacuoles are present in plant cell, absent in animal cell. So centrioles or centroplasm. So the pair of the centriole we can call as centrosome. So centriole is present in plant cell. Centriole is absent. Centriole is absent in plant cell. Centriole is present in animal cell. So these are the main differences. Here, what we are going to discuss here in this slide, vacuole. So vacuole is present. Vacuoles are present in plant cell, but absent in animal cell. Okay, these are the main differences between plant cell and animal cell. Is it clear? Plant cell and
Yes, sir.
animal. Here we are discussing about a gas vacuole. So gas vacuole also we can call as pseudo vacuole. Gas vacuole also we can call as pseudo vacuole. Vacuoles. Okay, here my dear friends, so this is the cells, so this is one of the plant cell, and this is the another plant cell, my dear friends. This is another plant cell. Okay, this is one of the plant cell, and this is the plant cell. Okay, this plant cells contain okay, vacuoles. Plant cell contain vacuoles. Is there any doubt? Plant cells contain vacuoles. Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No, very good. So here, this plant cell is also contain vacuole. So in these two cells, which is the younger one and which is the older one? How to identify? So in front of us are two plant cells are here. In these two cells, we identified whether which one is the oldest or aged cell and which one is the younger cell. How can you identify? Anybody? Anybody can tell? Plant A, plant cell A and plant cell B. Which one is younger and which one is the older one? Anybody? Are you express your view here, my dear friends. Am I audible?
Younger is A, sir. Younger is B, sir. Older is A.
So younger is B, older is A. Okay. Is there any doubt, Amma? It is clear. If you are, I expected another answer. Is it right answer? If yes, how? If wrong, can express your view. Which one is the younger cell and which one is the older cell? Okay, one
A
our
cell is younger, sir. B is older.
how can you defend? I'm asking, how can you decide? How can you define whether A is younger and B is older? How can you?
Because B has large vacuole, sir.
Yeah. A is
A has small vacuole.
small vacuoles, but number of vacuoles are there, na? So number of vacuoles are there. Only one vacuole is there. Are you agree? Are you stand on your answer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your answer is right answer, Amma. Very good. Because A is younger one, B is older one, or aged cell. Why? How can we decide? Because these at the time of age, the younger one age, these small vacuoles are going to merge, are going to combine to produce a large vacuole. So if our cell is a large vacuole, contain large vacuole, the cell is an aged cell. That is the older cell. The vacuoles, a number of small vacuoles are present inside the cell or cytoplasm. The cell is the older one. So just blindly we are say that here A is the younger one, B is the older one. Is it clear? Don't forget, Amma. This is the competitive question. Is it clear? So the number is not defined. The size is very important, Amma. So only one or two large vacuoles are consist. The cell is the older cell. The smaller size number of vacuoles are present. That is younger cell. So this is blindly you remember, my dear friends. Okay? Is it clear? Is it clear, my dear friends?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good. So this slide shows about gas vacuoles. So our blue-green algae, especially nostoc, Anabina contain a gas. So not only Anabina, so other blue-green algae also contain gas vacuoles. This gas vacuoles is filled with cavities that provide buoyancy and help algae to float on the surface of the water. Surface of the water. Is it clear? And they also reduce the intensity of light reaching the thylakoid. They also reduce the intensity of light reaching the thylakoids. Is it clear? So this is the function. The main function of the gas vacuole is number one, provide buoyancy for the free floating on the surface of the water, and the second one is reduce the intensity of light for reaching the thylakoid. This is the two functions related to gas vacuole. Okay, this is the gas vacuoles also we can call as pseudo vacuoles. Okay, then we will move for next slide. Then heterocyst. So the beautiful slide shows about the complete picture, the complete information related to our heterocyst, my dear friends. So this image or this slide shows how can you decide whether the cell is heterocyst, the cell is a vegetative cell. The vegetative cells are green in color, you know. The remaining heterocyst does not contain any green color. Is it clear?
Yes.
So that's why we are observed under the microscope. We are very easily identify whether the heterocyst cell are present intercalary or the terminal heterocyst or basal heterocyst present in the trichome or thallus of the Anabina by the use of these pigments, whether the pigments are present in the cell is green in color, blue-green in color. Heterocyst does not contain any pigments. That's why colorless cells are present among the vegetative cells. And also the heterocyst looks like a yellowish color. Why? Because some of the carotenoids are present inside the heterocyst. That's why the heterocyst looks like a yellow in color. And heterocyst, the normal vegetative cells does not contain any polar nodules, but heterocyst cell contain polar nodules. So polar nodules, with the help of polar nodules also we can identify the cell is a heterocyst or normal vegetative cell. Is it clear? Okay. Then here the main function of this heterocyst is the conversion of the nitrogen from the atmosphere to soil or in the heterocyst, and usable components compounds of the nitrogen, whereas what we can say that nitrates, nitrites and ammonia. So these are the usable nitrogen compounds. Okay, so the cell is enlarges and form 3 layers in addition to original cell wall. Here granular cellular content decreases, the thylakoid reorganize into connect rings or a reticulate pattern, polar nodules are also present. The pores are helpful in making the connection between the heterocyst and other vegetative cells. The heterocysts are site of nitrogen fixation. Is it right? This is the site of nitrogen fixation, you know. And conversion, also responsible for converting the vegetative cells into akinets. So this heterocyst is also able to convert vegetative cell into akinete. What is the main function of this akinetama? Akinete. Reproduction, for reproduction. So this is about akinete. This akinete is a non-motile spore formed by transformation of vegetative cell. A vegetative cell enlarges and accumulates the synophysian granules, and the original cell wall become a thick-walled or thickened. The original cell wall is going to thicken in nature, and the thylakoids retain the original arrangement. These are resistant to environmental adversities. Whenever unfavorable conditions are occurred or favorable conditions are lost, these cells are formed among the vegetative cells for protecting from the adverse condition, adverse environment. And also they are formed next to heterocyst also. They are formed next to heterocyst. Whenever the conditions are occurred, these akinets or resting spores or arthrospores are able to germinate to produce the complete filament of the Anabina thallus. Okay, this is about akinete, my dear friends. Akinete. Okay, so these akinete cells also a normal vegetative cell, but it is accumulate the cytoplasm along with these pigments, and the cell wall is going to large thicken in nature for protecting of the external adverse environment or unfavorable conditions. Whenever favorable conditions are occur, these akinete germinates to produce the complete thallus structure of the Anabina. And this reproduction in this in the Anabina reproduction, mainly vegetative reproduction or asexual reproduction only present. The sexual reproduction is absent in the Anabina, my dear friends. So in this cell we are observed, this is by fragmentation. This is the parent cell, parent thallus or the older thallus. The thallus is going to produce the new pieces. Each fragment can able to grow as a new thallus of the Anabina. So in this fragmentation we are observed, this is the parent cell or parent thallus, and which gives two pieces or two fragments. Each fragment can able to give the complete new Anabina filament. And the another one is akinetes. So akinete is also used in the vegetative reproduction, or also we can call it reproduction. Earlier slide we are already discussed. This is a akinete. Okay, akinete we are discussed here, and the spore formation. These akinetes germinate into new filament whenever favorable conditions are occurred. Then endospores. So endospores, some of the species like Anabaena cicharidae, this Anabaena cicharidae produce endospores also. Anabaena cicharidae spores produce endospores. So the thallus of these Anabaena, among the cells, the cells are produce the number of spores inside the cell. That's why these spores we can call as endospores. Okay, so these endospores mainly produce the heterocyst content divided to form small spores called endospores, which means what we observed in the heterocyst region or heterocyst cell, they produce this endospore. These give rise new filament upon the germination. Okay, so these are the endospores formation on the site of the heterocyst cell. So these spores, whenever the favorable conditions occur, the spores produce the entire filament of the Anabaena. Okay. Then what is the economic importance of this Anabaena? The first main function is nitrogen fixation. Second one is increase in fertility of the soil and crop yield. This Anabaena is also associated with some of the other living organism, that is Azolla Anabaena. The second one is Cycas coralloid roots. And this Anabaena is also used for the reclamation of the soil. The saline soil is going to reclamation for the growing of the cultivated crops. And this Anabaena is also able to produce the water blooms on the surface of the pond and surface of the stagnant water. And sometimes this Anabaena is also caused for the death of some of the aquatic fauna or aquatic animals. Okay, so this slide shows about the Azolla fern. Azolla fern on the surface of the water. Okay.
Adrian वापस broken rotting.
Okay, so this increase the fertility of the soil and crop yield. Why? Because this Azolla fern contains this Anabaena. That's why the species we can call it as Azolla Anabaena. This Azolla Anabaena is used in the cultivated crops like paddy field or rice field to conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen in the soil nitrogen. So that's why the increasing of the yield of the crops like rice or paddy field. Okay, so the soil promotes the yield of the rice, and this is the filament of the filaments of the Anabaena. This filament is able to grow as an endophytic or association, symbiotic association with azolla. So this is the nitrogen fixation heterocyst. In the heterocyst, so this is the vegetative cells. Both sides are vegetative cells, and this is the heterocyst. This heterocyst is contain the nitrogenase enzyme. This nitrogenase enzyme is able to conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen into usable compounds of the nitrogen, nitrates, and ammonia. This is helpful for the fertility of the soil. And another symbiotic association with are you observed this type of trees or plants you observed whenever you walk on the parks or any lands or gardens or even though government offices. Are you observed any? Are you heard about the term cycas? Cycas
sir.
trees, cycas plants. These cycas
No.
plants, gymnospermic plants. You know, gymnospermic plants. So the gymnospermic plant cycas is able to contain these anabina in the special type of the roots, with association with the roots. The roots we can call as coralloid roots of the cycas. So why we can call that roots we can call as coralloids? The coralloid means a finger-like aperture or finger-like structure, and these coralloid roots are able to grow anti-geotrophic or anti-geotrophic in nature. Okay, very nearer of the cycas tree or cycas plant, we are observed this type of aperture, very near to the trunk of the cycas. If you are not watch or not observed this type of roots in your college or in any nearest your government offices or any parks, definitely you observe this type of roots picture on the cycas. These roots, these coralloid roots contain anabina. These coralloid roots contain anabina. So these roots, whenever we are cut it into roots or a section, take section of these roots, looks like here the coralloid roots, the algal zone present on the cortex region of the coralloid roots, my dear friends. These cortex zone contain a cavity zone we are observed, that is we can call as algal zone. This algal zone contain this anabina species. So that's why these species we can call as Anabina cycadaceae. So Anabina cycadaceae species able to grow inside the roots of the algal zone of the cycas. So that's why the roots we can call as coralloid roots. So these coralloid roots contain this algal zone. This algal zone contain this Anabina cycadaceae species. So this Anabina cycadaceae species able to conversion of the atmospheric nitrogen into soil, and the reclamation of the saline soil. So whenever this Anabina is cultivated or Anabina cultures on the water lagging region or salinity soil, this unfertile soil is going to convert into the fertile soil, and is also increasing of the water holding capacity and increasing of the nutrients in the soil. So that's why this Anabina or blue-green alga is mainly used for the soil fertility. And my dear friends, we are observed on the surface of the water ponds and ponds of the water surface and stagnant water, we are observed blooms, tettu, manam scum or tettu. These water blooms gives an unpleasant smell or foul smell on the surface of the water, just because of this blue-green alga. Though the abundant blue-green alga grown on the water is not able to utilize for our drinking water, like drinking water. That's why that is one type of pollution, the water pollution. The water pollution, type of water pollution we can call as eutrophication. Whenever the water is in eutrophic in condition, the nutrients is abundant, like nitrogen, phosphorus and sulfur, and this is cause for the death of some of the aquatic fauna, like fishes. Okay, so that's why these blue-green algae can also produce the toxins. The toxins harmful whenever the water drinking by the cattle or the horses or sheep, they are going to dead death. Why? Because these toxins, whether they are neurotoxins or hepatotoxins. Earlier classes, we are already discussed about this blue-green algae can produce the toxins related to hepatotoxins that infect the liver, the neurotoxins that infect the nervous system. So that's why the cattle and horses or sheep are going to death just because of this neurotoxins. So this is about today's topic, my dear friends, Anabina. Is there any doubt? Please ask me. I will explain once again. Is there any doubt, my dear friends? Is there any doubt?
No, sir.
No? Okay.
Sir, can you please show Akana's slide?
Okay. I will show once again. Okay, this is about Akaini. This slide is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This slide is visible. Is there any doubt related to Akaini? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I will stop here. Tomorrow, sharp 8 a.m., we will meet in our Google Meet. So next type study, that is oscillatoria, my dear friends. Oscillatoria. Okay?
Sir, thank
Okay. Thank you, my dear friends.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, my dear friends. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Soap, hand wash, and sanitizer. With Pro Hygienics. Introducing Preeti Zodiac 2.0. The Zodiac లో ఇంకొక ప్లస్ ఎండ్రిక్స్ ప్లస్ ప్రెసిషన్ గ్రైండింగ్ మెను ఇందులోని క్యాల్కులేటెడ్ రొటేషన్ కంట్రోల్ ఒక్కొక్క పదార్థాన్ని ఒక్కో విధంగా ఉంటుంది. అందువల్ల ఈ ప్రతి జనుపు ఆహారంలో బయో అవైలబిలిటీ పెరుగుతుంది. ప్రీతి జోడియాక్ 2.0 ప్రతిరోజు ఆహారం ఆరోగ్యకరమైన ఆహారం.